Welcome back aboard the Polite Ship, everyone, and it is now 6 a.m. because we're on our way to Hershey. We got in the car at like 7 a.m. and proceeded to begin our 2-hour drive through lots and lots and lots and lots of farmland. Well, once we got through off the bridge, then we drove through farmland, and eventually we got there where we proceeded to walk up to the front so that we could head to Chocolate World and do the chocolate tour as our first thing on the list. Somehow, some way, there's a school trip here in the middle of summer. But it's probably, like my dad just said, it's probably like a summer camp, but we just beat them. So then we did the chocolate tour, which was the first time we did it. I would do it at least, because last time we went here, we had no time to do literally anything, and I'm going to talk about that more later. But it was pretty cute. And then after we got off, we got our little piece of chocolate, and then we made our way into the store. We saw a lot here, and one of the main things we saw was this gargantuan thing of Kit Kats. Let me get this giant thing of Kit Kats. I'm just kidding. Sky Rush is just looming in the distance. Like, you could just barely see it, like, a little bit over that building. To start, we made our way over to the front gate so we could get in, and none of the park was really open yet except for Candemonium. Alright, it's a short wait, so we're gonna do Candemonium first. This was out of nowhere, but nothing else is open anyway, So now we just got off Candemonium. We're gonna do an upside down V thing, like around the park, to get to Wildcat. It's revenge. We're headed in a very specific direction right now. We're going all the way to the back. I know it's not closing until like September, but seriously, missed opportunity to go on Tidal Force. I mean, I never really would because unless you bring like clothes for the water park. Anyway, now it's time for Wildcat's Revenge. I think I grayed out a little bit towards the end. I love this ride so much. Seriously, RMC is just top tier. Then we waited 30 minutes for Fahrenheit. While we were in line for Fahrenheit, we got some crucial information from a couple of the guests behind us. So we just got off Fahrenheit, and apparently we found out from one of the people online with us that the wait times are very, very off right now. And apparently Storm Runner is up to 60 minutes because they're only running one train, and that's the direction we're heading. So I'm going to check out that line, but we're also going to get something to eat. We would end up not being able to ride Jolly Rancher either, but we got a boomerang at home, so. So the app actually is accurate for once. It's like an hour wait. So we're going to see if we can't come back later. For lunch, we got Chickies and Pete's crab fries and a cheesesteak. Terrible lunch decision. Alright, we finally have a game plan. We're going to hit up Lightning Racer. It's only a 5-minute wait. It's the shortest in the park right now. So we went all the way across the water park to get here where the Ferris wheel is and where the entrance to Lightning Racer is. Alright, here we are. Me and my dad were on the Lightning side and we won. My mom doesn't really like coasters, so she didn't go on a lot of the stuff here. But then we went on the Ferris wheel and we got some really, really, really good views of the park from up here. It's so cool to look at all this stuff from high up, seriously. Seeing all of the coaster layouts is just really cool from up here when you don't have this giant pole in your way. And also, look at the layout for Lightning Racer. That's so cool looking from up here. I don't know why, it's just so cool. Over there, laugh track has been a consistently long wait all day. We got the big WCR up there. We're making our way back up now. We're headed to Storm Runner. We're gonna bear the wait. Now get ready. Here we go for a hour-long wait. Now we're noticing a little bit of a theme with the Hershey Park queues, that there are a ton of cobwebs in these queue lines, specifically Storm Runner and Sky Rush. We spent so much time in the Storm Runner queue. It was very obvious when we got up to like the part where you start going up the stairs that there were a ton of cobwebs in this queue. But anyways, after an hour-long wait. Welcome to the next episode of Hershey Park an hour later. Then we attempted to get the milkshake, and while I went to look for the queue for Great Bear, I somehow ended up on this side of the hollow. Which, wow. Our original goal was to get the milkshake and then come back here and ride Great Bear and then Sky Rush. But after getting sidetracked on the way to find the Great Bear queue, my dad went to the bathroom and got sent the wrong way, and we ended up figuring out that Sky Rush wasn't that long of a wait. So after going the right way, we made our way back into the hollow so that we could head around and over to the Sky Rush queue. which once again only ended up being like 15 minutes long. Now, I know I said that I find this ride kind of overrated last time, and while I do still kind of think that's the case, I feel like I liked this experience a little bit better than the first time. Because the first time, not only was it a hasty school trip, but it was also the first ride we rode of the day, and by the end I'd kind of forgotten about it. But now that I ride it again, I actually realized how much I liked it the first time. I still think it's overrated. And one really big issue this ride has is that you always get stapled every time you ride it, almost without fail. That being said, I do think it's really fun.
Alright, it's time for Great Bear. No, I'm not talking about Bark.
All jokes aside, though, the first time we went here, I didn't actually get to ride this because it was a consistently long wait all day, and by the time we got to it, we were pretty much out of time because, again, it was a school trip and all this stuff was really weird. However, I'm actually glad I got to ride this my second time around. Believe it or not, this is my first ever true invert, unless you count SLCs, which would mean Nor'easter technically was, but not really. But I actually really enjoyed it, especially the part where you go over the water towards the end. I also find it cool how the track kind of roars as you go along it like a bear.
But not
Yeah,
all
Bart,
yeah.
Bart, I know, not all
bears.
bears roar, I know.
And now we're heading right across the way because we're going to go up into the kissing canal.
This is another thing we didn't get to do before, but we got some really good views of the park from up here. It's just amazing to see how big this place actually is. It's not even just the park itself, it extends far beyond, too. Like Zoo America, the entire, place itself of Hershey, Pennsylvania. You can even see pretty clearly just how much area Twizzler's Twisted Gravity actually takes up when they could use that space for something so much better. But anyway, since it was only a 25-minute wait, after we got off, I hit Trailblazer and had screaming, crying children and a family of 16 behind me the entire time I was in line. But then we started to make our way back towards the entrance because it was time to get dinner.
I feel so bad. I just stole this table from someone, but there's nowhere else to sit.
I'm not even joking, I was racing another kid to get to this table. But then we made our way back towards the entrance where we saw another group of school trippers, again. But then we got the milkshake finally. Then we raced against another group of school trippers so that we could get to Candemonium one more time. Technically our third ride on Candemonium yet, and our second ride on Candemonium of the day, which means it was the end of our day. So after getting about 50 shots of this thing for one video, we walked out of the park and then we went back into Hershey's Chocolate World. Oh yay, a whole jar of literally just Reese's peanut butter, and a whole bag of Take Fives.
This, for some reason, chocolate pillow.
And of course, another gargantuan thing, this Hershey Kiss. But anyways, then we went to the bathroom and then we made our way out of the park and walked back to the car so we could start heading home. Another 2-hour drive led us back to the house. And that's the end of the Hershey Park vlog. Thanks for watching. Don't get seasick. Bye.